Dad? What are you doing?
What I should have done long ago.
Welcome back, everyone. This will be my full DC Peacemaker Episode 7 video. There's a whole bunch of Easter eggs, so we'll break it all down. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get everything. There's a bunch of big DC stuff happening this weekend. They just released a Super Bowl trailer for the movie, so I'll be doing a video for that next, too. Real quick shout out to my friends at Kamikoto Knives who asked to sponsor this video. I'm doing a giveaway for these special knives that they sent me. I'll pick a winner from the comments on this video after a few days and give them a shout out in a separate video later this week. Kamikoto makes these amazing Japanese steel kitchen knives using traditional techniques from Japan. They build on this legacy of over 800 years of Japanese technology and expertise in creating the steel to make knives that have been meticulously handcrafted using traditional techniques that date back to the Edo period of Japan. If you watch the Demon Slayer anime series or read the manga, that takes place during the Edo period of Japan, between the 1600s and the 1800s. Each knife goes through a rigorous 19-step process that takes several years from start to finish to complete. Kamikoto is so confident about the quality of their knives that each one comes with a lifetime guarantee. They make a ton of different types of knives. The set that I'll be giving away is part of a 3-piece konpeki set that comes with a nakiri vegetable knife, a slicing knife, and a smaller utility knife. They ship in this special heavy-duty ash wood box that doubles as a really good storage case too. I'll add a link for their store page in the description below, so you guys can get $50 off if you purchase by using the discount code that they gave me. I'll put it on screen here. It's kamikoto.com/emergencyawesome. So be sure to check them out. Careful for spoilers from the episode if you haven't seen it yet. We'll start at the beginning and work our way through shot by shot, talking about Easter eggs, WTF moments as we go along, starting with the episode title. Stop Dragging My Heart Around, a reference to Peacemaker's father, White Dragon, in the way he's been abusing him physically, emotionally since he was a child, manipulating him, which sort of feeds into Peacemaker's realization that his brother's death wasn't his fault. He finally comes to terms with that. He realizes his father is the one who's truly responsible for the death of his brother, even though he's the one who accidentally killed him. The actual opening scene is the full reveal of what happened to his brother. It starts with them both listening to that same Motley Crue song the Peacemaker was just playing on the piano at the end of last week's episode. In fun fact, if you didn't realize this, John Cena actually does play the piano in real life, so he was really playing that song on that piano while they were filming it. But the song was Motley Crue's Home Sweet Home, so they're jamming out to that in the past in their records, just having fun rocking out like a couple little kids. His brother even seems like he could care less about their father's whole dogma, the whole KKK of it all. Like, screw that, let's just rock out and get chicks. That's why Peacemaker loves hair metal music in present day so much, because emotionally, he's kind of frozen at that point in his life, the last time that he was really happy, before his brother died. And when his brother literally says, let's smoke all day and just tongue kiss hot babes, literally that's what Peacemaker has been doing in all the episodes when he's slowly broken down emotionally, to the point of crying on the floor. They also confirm my theory about the way his brother died. His father forced them to fight so that he could earn money off of them, and he just accidentally killed him with a punch to the head in exactly the wrong place with just enough force. But the whole idea here is that their father, White Dragon, liked the brother more than Peacemaker and spent the rest of his life letting him know every chance he got and just generally treating him like a piece of crap, until Peacemaker finally calls him out on it and kills him. The way Robert Patrick said that James Gunn explained the character to him, the White Dragon character, before they started filming, is that he was designed to be so vile just to explain how Peacemaker could be so messed up in present day. They do further the butterfly plot in this episode, but the episode is mostly designed to be Peacemaker versus White Dragon. The butterflies had just taken over the entire police station, the prisoners from the jail. Because they absorb human memories, they learned all of the team's plans from Locke, who knew that Myrn was planning to destroy their cow alien. So the butterflies engineer this plan to create a teleportation device to transport their cow to another secret location, and it is a massive alien cow. Although the term cow is kind of misleading, it's just like a giant butterfly-ish blob creature that they milk for that special honey. The actual alien cow itself looks like something inspired by James Gunn's Slither movie. If you were getting Slither vibes from this, that's probably on purpose. If you've never seen that movie, it's a sci-fi horror movie that he directed really early in his career about this alien parasite species that comes to Earth and starts taking over the population. Doesn't that sound familiar? Wait a minute, oh wait, that's what the butterflies are doing on Peacemaker. And the way they describe it, it's the only one on this planet, and the butterflies don't have another way to replace it. So they kill it, they kill their food source, they kill the butterflies. Judo Master escapes again hilariously. He's not a butterfly, but he was working for them. I love that the first thing that he does is go for another bag of Flamin' Hot Cheetos. They're like his kryptonite. The Cheeto jokes on Peacemaker are kind of like the Fresca jokes during The Boys Season 2.
Would you like a Fresca?
White Dragon reveals he's got all of his hypertech and Peacemaker's helmets low-jacked, and they use the trackers to find him. But by the end of the episode, now that Peacemaker's killed his father, I do wonder if heading into a possible Season 2, or just more Peacemaker crossovers and future DC HBO shows and movies, he'll just stop wearing those helmets altogether, or if he'll commandeer all of his father's folding space pocket dimension, just because that place has all the hypertech gear that the team would ever need for any kind of future missions together. Because now that Murn's dead, Harcourt has kind of taken over leadership of the team, it seems like the vibe will be, if they do get a Season 2, they'll just continue to exist as they do now at the end of this episode. Maybe add like another Suicide Squad character to the roster, like another C or D list funny character that's kind of a villain. Either way, I just hope they don't let all of White Dragon's hypertech gear go to waste. It also seems like Amanda Waller, if she found out about this place, would really want to get her hands on all this gear. Does anybody need a pocket folding dimension? Just feels like we could put that to some good use. Like even Batman doesn't have a pocket folding dimension inside the Batcave. Peacemaker reveals that although the diary is fake and full of terrible collages, he would totally love to make a diary with collages that are actually good. He also enjoys journaling, learning all kinds of little details about Peacemaker along the way. Leota finally comes clean to the team about all of her secrets, the fake diary she planted, the fact that she's Amanda Waller's daughter, but the funny thing is that Harcourt totally figured out what happened with the fake diary on her own and confronts her about it, and Murn knew that she was Amanda Waller's daughter the whole time and didn't tell anyone. Her whole story arc is about balancing herself in the morally gray area where all Suicide Squad-based stories operate. They keep referencing how she has a talent for this kind of work. She's a chip off the old Amanda Waller blog, so she'll probably continue with the team after the finale should they get a Season 2, and just be more sure of her choices and actions on missions. She won't hesitate as much, the same way that Peacemaker had that brief existential crisis in the middle of the series, but now he's more sure of himself. Like, he doesn't have a problem killing the right kind of people, or the right kind of bad people. She makes a reference to Mars Attacks. That's a movie about aliens from Mars invading, kind of like the butterflies from another planet are invading Earth. Then when the two douchey kids at the convenience store start going on about how good Boondock Saints is, they're right, Boondock Saints is an amazing series. I think they included that reference in the show just because James Gunn is a fan of that series in real life. White Dragon and his posse take out their van. His suit is meant to be hardcore hypertech. He doesn't care about the other team members, he's really just here to kill Peacemaker, and he'll just mow through the others to get to him. But here's the thing, Vigilante definitely makes up for being such a weirdo this whole time, winds up being super useful during this whole White Dragon fight, the couple White Dragon fights that take place across the rest of the episode. Like the first time, he stops him short in his tracks using his guns and his bombs. The second time, they finally pay off his earlier observation inside the folding space about White Dragon's armor weakness. The cloth portions between the armor plating, sticking him with the knife, disabling the suit, saving Peacemaker's life yet again. Like, he saves his life at least a couple times in this episode. But on the flip side of that, he also brought all those helmets, which helped White Dragon track them down again in the episode right after they escaped. So having Vigilante on the team is kind of like a 50-50 situation. He's a savant with weapons, he's amazing, but he also gets you into as much trouble as he gets you out of. When he takes off in the clan member's car that he steals, hilariously, they play Don't Close Your Eyes by Kix as he literally tries to keep from passing out. Then when Peacemaker uses the raccoon to distract White Dragon and his posse, they make a bunch of raccoon jokes, and it feels like it's mostly meant to be a Guardians of the Galaxy Rocket Raccoon reference. Like Economos says, he didn't expect this to happen when Peacemaker picked up a wild raccoon, as if to imply raccoons are way cooler than you'd think, like Rocket from Guardians. Also, Steve Agee, who plays John Economos, was one of the Ravagers during the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. They're still in the middle of filming Guardians of the Galaxy 3 right now. The actor who plays Murn is also playing a secret new villain in Guardians 3. The rumor is that he's going to be MCU High Evolutionary. But then the Butterfly Queen brings her minions to kill Murn, or they kill the butterfly that is Murn. They do give him this kind of funny but touching moment with Harcourt when it reaches out and touches her just as it dies, so RIP. Only James Gunn could get you to care about a little bug like this. Judo Master returns to get revenge on them. It's a solid action scene. Harcourt has had a couple good action scenes this season, but they're usually with guns. This is really like her first major brawl fight. Love the way that Leota just tases the crap out of him too. So he's still alive. He could come back in the finale. It'll be interesting to see which way he lands. I'm sure they'll use him mostly for some comedic action scenes. He's still technically working for the butterflies, like they're paying him, but they're trying to take over the planet, so maybe he'll eventually help the team out or start working for Amanda Waller after the finale, if he survives. This whole scene of Peacemaker running out of the woods, waving his arms wildly from the clan members, kind of feels like an Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark reference for the shot of him running through the jungle, just waving his arms at the plane as the tribe is coming after him. We find out that Vigilante pees like Butters from South Park, pulling his pants all the way down to the ground because he's just that weird. When White Dragon starts making all these weird biblical references, he talks about the story of Abraham. That's the story of how God asked Abraham to sacrifice his son, Isaac, to prove his faith. He almost did, but God stopped him, claiming that he passed the test before he could finish landing the killing blow. So when he's saying 40 years ago he was tested, that was when Peacemaker was born. Peacemaker is meant to be 40 years old in the DCEU. It's why White Dragon says he should have killed him the moment he was born. When he's laying into Peacemaker, he also kind of reveals that he's bi. That's what he meant when he said that Peacemaker laid with both men and women. But when he mentions the forces of Baphomet, that's actually the deity that's allegedly worshipped by the Knights Templar, but it is a DC character. Inside the DC universe, it's still worshipped by the Knights Templar within the DC universe, but its main power is foretelling catastrophic events, and it's from the Doom Patrol comics. The one that White Dragon is talking about in the context of this episode mostly sounds like a metaphor for the Suicide Squad itself, and I think he's mostly referencing the events of the Suicide Squad movie in the Starro mission. With Vigilante's help, like I said, Peacemaker finally kills his father, stands up for himself. They save Eagly's life with the help of these regular vets. It's a very funny sequence. I love the way that Leota also reacts to Eagly hugging Peacemaker. In the very complex, very well thought out prayer Peacemaker offers God about sleeping with an ugly woman to thank her for taking care of Eagly while he would have been in prison. The reason why he reaches for his phone and takes another picture of them is because he wasn't able to do that the first time Eagly hugged him at the beginning of the series. He didn't have his old phone with him at the time, and Vigilante also destroyed his old phone, which had a bunch of other Eagly photos on it. So he's just trying to fill up his new phone with a bunch more to replace them. Love the way they totally win the vets over with all their speeches, and they try to join the team just cocking the guns like, nope, sorry, that's not happening, you're not joining us, you would just die, you would not be useful in this fight. They make even more Butch Cassidy Sundance Kid references. They have a really long drawn-out argument about the plot of that movie and the way that it had a downer ending. So they'll probably wind up paying that off in the finale in some funny way, where the current roster here of team members probably survive. I think the idea is that Myrn was probably the only team member that they planned on killing off, but we'll see. Them doing that slow walk to camera is meant to be another Guardians of the Galaxy slow walk reference. Because just like the Guardians, this team is a group of total a-holes that wind up saving the day. Also, that kind of pays off the Apple Dumpling Gang reference from earlier this season. Then the post-credit scene this week is just a bunch of outtakes and funny moments and bloopers from the police briefing. If you look closely in the background here, you can see one of the deputies behind him on the right breaking and laughing in the middle of the scene while he goes on and on just saying more and more ridiculous random stuff.
It's important to swing the hips.
And we're finished now. Thank you very much. Thank you for attending.
But if you spotted any other Easter eggs in the episode that I didn't mention in the video, write them below in the comments. My full Peacemaker Episode 8 finale video will post next week just like normal. Supposedly there's going to be some crazy DCEU cameo scenes, so we'll see who winds up showing up. James Gunn did say the Peacemaker series would help set up some future DC project, so maybe that's what he's talking about. They also just released a Super Bowl trailer for the DC movies, so I'll do a video for that next that should post by Saturday. There'll be a couple Marvel Super Bowl trailers on Sunday as well, so I'll be doing videos for all those things. Make sure you have alerts enabled for my channel so you don't miss all those. Everyone click here for my full Mandalorian Season 3 teaser and top 10 WTF predictions, and click here for all my DC and Marvel Super Bowl trailer videos. I'll update the link as soon as they start posting. Thank you so much for watching, everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.